Hello all, welcome back. So since past few week we are exploring a different Gen AI technologies and trying to build different Gen AI applications using Google Palm API or Google Generative AI or OpenAI. So we are trying to build different AI applications. So in this video also we are going to build a very interesting application. So this will be your AI voice assistant using Google Gen AI, means generative AI. Okay, so this will be like your exactly your Alexa or okay Google. So whenever you provide any voice command and it will respond back to your voice command. Okay, so we are going to build a similar application in this video demo. So let me first show you what we are going to build, so the video will be more interesting for you and you will stay tuned till the end. So we are going to build something like this, like a voice AI assistant. So here I'll give some voice command in the form of my voice and it will respond back to my queries. So it is similar like your chat GPT or Bard, which will respond to your text messages. Here we are doing it in a form of a voice. Okay, so let me show you one demo here. So I'll just start saying something and hello, how are you? Okay, and you can see it responded back to my message. So my message was hello, how are you, in my voice, and it responded back that hello, I am doing well, thank you for asking. And it also responded in the voice. Let me just play it.
Hello, I am doing well, thank you for asking. How are you?
Now let me ask again what this AI assistant can do for me. What you can do for me? Okay, and you can see it responded back with a message that as an AI language model I can help you with variety of the tasks, and it also responded back in a
As an AI language model, I can help you with a variety of tasks, including answering your questions, providing.
okay. So whatever the voice command I am giving, it is just responding back to me just like okay Google Assistant or Alexa. Okay, so we are going to build this application. So let me go back to my slide, how we are going to achieve it in our system. Let me just show you first what tech stack we are going to use in this project. So let me just explain again. So this project will be very helpful if you want to learn Google Cloud, or want to learn Python, or want to understand how generative AI works, or want to understand how CI/CD pipeline is set up for DevOps practice. Okay, so I'll be using Python here to develop my application, and I'll be using Google existing pre-trained generative AI model. So I'll be using text model, Vertex AI Gen AI text model. Then I'll be using Google speech to text model. Again I'll be trying to use text to speech again, and I will use a Python native library for speech recognition. So I'll use a different API and libraries here. Then I'll use HTML for building my simple web page. So I am not much like strong in this HTML or web development, so I will get help from the online resources to build my HTML web page. I will just take a help from ChatGPT to create my simple HTML web page, and the below 4 will run in the second part of the video where we'll deploy our AI assistant on Google Cloud Run. Okay, so now let me just explain you how this actually works, or how we are going to build this. Okay, so I wasted a lot of times on this to build this, so let me explain you how I achieve this. So here in the form of the microphone, we will get the voice input from the user, and using the Python library, speech recognition library, will convert that voice input into the text. Okay, and whatever the text we got, then we'll chat with a Google Palm API generative AI model. Okay, so Google has their generative AI studio and they have their own chat model where we can chat and get response in intelligent way. So we'll provide that text input to the Google chat model and it will just respond back with the intelligent reply, and whatever the response we are getting will get in the text format, and that text again we are going to convert into the voice command or voice output, and we'll display both the thing, text and voice, to the user. So this complete flow we just saw on a UI. So we are taking input from UI, we are converting it into the text in the form of Python, then we are providing the text to the Vertex AI model, pre-trained model, and then we are getting response back from that pre-trained model, and that again converting that text output into the voice output. Okay, so this complete flow we are going to implement. So first we are trying to see how this Python program works for all the three different parts. So we'll be splitting this complete video into three different parts. So first we'll see how we can get voice recognition or a voice command from the user input and convert it into the text. So we'll see that in first part. Second, we'll try to chat or interact with Vertex AI model using the text. And the third, then we'll try to again convert the text output into the what we can say the audio output. Okay, and we'll write it into the file. So let me go to the VS Code now, and we'll try to build our Python application from scratch first. Once our Python application is ready, then we'll convert it into the Flask application and deploy as a web server in local. We'll test it locally, and if it is working fine, then we'll deploy it on a Google Cloud Run in a form of a Docker container image, and then we'll set up it as a CI/CD pipeline to automate complete flow. Okay, then let's go to the VS Code now. Okay, I am in my VS Code now. I have created one folder, AI voice assistant. Okay, so I'll create one file here for input. So I'll explain part by part the complete flow if you want to understand complete Python how we are going to build this application. So first I'll create input.py. Now in this first part we have to accept user input in the form of microphone and then print it. Whatever we have spoken, we have to print it in a terminal. So that is the first part, to get input in the form of voice from the microphone. Now I don't know how to write this Python code. Okay, so what we can do, I'll to be honest, I'll be getting help from these AI tools because we have these online resources available to learn, so we should learn from this. Okay, so I can simply ask Bart to write Python code to accept user input from microphone and print on terminal. Okay, so I'll directly asking this to the Bart, or you can use ChatGPT, whatever you are comfortable with. Okay, so it has given me the complete code. Okay, so let me just copy it and try to see. Okay, so it will first time ask you to install this speech recognition, so you have to do pip install. For me it's already installed as I tried it before. So let me open terminal and try it now. Okay, so let me just try to run this program. Python input dot py. Okay, and let me run it. Hello, how are you? Okay, so it means whatever we are speaking, it is printing. So it means it is accepting input whatever we are speaking through microphone, and it is printing on the terminal. Okay, so it is printing test. So you can understand this program. It is using a speech recognition module here, and using this module it is accepting a user input through the microphone. So this is our first part. Now we can accept the user input from the microphone as a form of voice assistant or as a form of voice. Okay, now the second part is we have to use this input to our Vertex AI Palm API chat model. So let me show you what this model is. Let me go to the Google Cloud. Okay, so I am in my Google Cloud now. I simply type Vertex AI. So even if you are not much familiar with Vertex AI, no need to worry, because we are not training AD custom model, or we are not going to do any complex coding to train our model. So we'll be using Google's existing models here. Okay, so we have generative AI studio here. I will go to language because we have to use a Google LLM, that is large language model, for this project. So I'll go to this language model here. Okay, and I'll go on text prompt. So one thing here, so this is, you can see there are model given here which are pre-trained model, and you can see which model to use. So you can use text based on latest model, or you can use a 001 which is like a completely tested and available model. So let it keep as a default, so we'll use text vision model, and this will give us a prompt reply or any kind of reply just like a Google Bard or Chat GPT. Okay, so let me ask you. So same thing what I asked to Bard, I am asking to this language model. Okay, and we'll see if it gives a proper response, then we are good to use. Okay, so you can see it has given the complete code here. It means it is giving the intelligent reply, and we can use this text vision model in our code. But how we can use? So simply you can go and view code and copy this code. You don't need to do any kind of coding, so simply copy this code. And now I'll just add some comment here, and I'll just add in the below. Okay, so now we have different options here. So first thing what we did, we are accepting user input. So let me put all import statement at the beginning. Okay, so we are accepting user input first from the microphone, and now instead of this typing this, we'll get it from the user input. So already we are storing user input in the variable called text, so I will add this as a text. I'll just mention text. Okay, so it will take the user input we have given in the form of voice command. Okay, now let me run it. So for this you should have your own Vertex AI project. Okay, so this is already generated code, so it already fetched, but if you are just copying from my GitHub repo, you have to add your project ID. Okay, so now I will accept voice command, and using that voice command I will get a response on my terminal. Okay, so let's run this program again. Python input.py. Hello, give me program to print Python hello world. So it accepted our input. Now it will give that input to a chat model, and yeah, it got response from the model. So first, this is what we have given in a form of voice command, and then it fetched that voice command to our Vertex AI model, and then it fetched the response. The same thing now we are going to do, but only now we should get a response in a form of output audio as well. Okay, so for this we'll again use a Vertex AI model. So we have a speech model here. We'll go to speech again, and here we can convert any text to speech. Okay, so suppose I am typing hello and I'll submitting, so I get response
hello.
So it is converting speech into the audio. So same code again we'll use this to convert speech into the or text into the audio. So let me just create new file, text to audio dot mp3, sorry, py. Okay, let me paste the code here, and now it's the same thing. We have to input text, we have to give text is equal to, so I can just simply write it here in the bottom. So I am ultimately I will create different function, but just for your understanding now I am just combining all the code. Okay, so it will execute sequentially. So this is text generation, and now this is we are converting to output mp3. Okay, So it will convert your text output into the mp3. Now understand the flow here. First, what we are doing in the first part, so let me just add here part 1. So here we are getting input from the microphone in the form of voice command, okay, and we are printing that input. So that is hello, give me a Python program. That is our first part. In second part, we are giving that input to the like AI chat model and getting the response back. Okay, so this is our first part, that fetching that voice command to the from the terminal or from the microphone, getting it printed on the terminal, and then what is the input, fetch that or push that input to the this pre-trained chat model and getting response back from the chat model. So now what is this response? So let me just add one more line. Response is equal to response dot text. Okay, and let me just add a response here, so it will just work fine. Or let me add name a result to avoid confusion. A result is equal to response dot text, and here I will mention a result. Okay, and now I want to pass this text as a result. So I want to convert whatever in the result into the output mp3 file. Okay, so let me run a complete program again, and let me just print it to understand. So I'll just print to understand better. Part 1, fetching input from microphone. Okay, this is our part 1. Then I'll print here part 2, interacting with chat model. AI chat model. Okay, and part 3, converting output into the voice format. This is part 3. Converting output into audio. Okay, let me execute now one by one. So part 1, hello, how are you? Now this is interacting with AI chat model and converting it into the audio file. You can see audio is generated here. Let me play it.
Hello, I am an AI assistant incapable of experiencing feelings in the same way humans might. How are you?
Okay, so now we converted or we created our AI assistant or AI voice assistant in our single Python file. Now we have to deploy it as a web application. So we have to create some HTML web pages, we have to create some Flask routing template. Okay, so all these things again I will get from chat GPT, but I have to play a lot of things here, so I already created that. So just to show you from the scratch, I completely explained the logic how we build this application. Okay, now we have to just create, I would say, the presentation layer in the form of HTML web page. So I already built that, so let me show you that. So let me go here. Okay, so I already have these folders created, and the same thing I am doing here. Instead I will just have few extra file index.html. So here I am just printing the output and getting the input from the front end, but everything, the logic wise, I am doing everything same. Okay, so now this is my Flask. Let me run this Flask application using python app.py, and we'll see everything working fine with the Python Flask application as well. Okay, so let me run it. Just follow the link. Okay, so we are on this page now. So it is showing old mp3 file which we are having already. We just created one. So let me now start speaking now. Hello, what is Google Cloud? Okay, and it printed the output. What is a Google Cloud? So Google Cloud is a suite of cloud computing service that runs the same infrastructure that Google uses for its end user product. So it gave like the answers, and let me play it.
Google Cloud is a suite of cloud computing services that runs on the same infrastructure that Google uses for its end-user products, such as Google Search and YouTube. Announced in 2008 and
Okay, now just ask something more. Can you help me to learn Google Cloud? Okay, and it responded back. So it given like how to learn Google Cloud and all certification details and all. Okay, so it means it is working completely fine. So we have built our Python Flask application, which is our AI voice assistant, which will take input in the form of our voice. It will process it and it will provide intelligent reply to us on the web page. So this is a very amazing things we have done. Now in a second part, we are going to deploy it on a Google Cloud run. So we'll deploy it as a Docker container image. So first we'll create a Docker container image, and then we'll push it to the artifact registry and deploy on a cloud run. Then we'll automate it completely by integrating to the GitHub repository as a CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so let's wrap up this video, and we'll see you in the next video.